Hello, everybody. Welcome to the YouTube channel partnership playlist. Today, we've got Tim Finch from SouthPac International, who are one of our channel partners. He's going to be talking to you a bit about his experience implementing HOP, and then we're going to have a quick look at the website, have a look at some of the services that SouthPac International offer in the HOP and learning team space, and some special guests that are coming over to Australia as well. So let's bring him onto the stage. Let's welcome Tim Fitch. Tim, good morning. How are you doing, mate?
G'day, David. Yeah, good. Thanks for having me.
No worries at all. No worries at all. Glad that you could come on. It's always good to see different people from the companies that we've got here in the channel partners. And I believe, well, I know a bit about you anyway. I know you bring a lot of experience in the HOP integration and implementation and training side of things. Why don't we give people a bit of feel as to who you are, your background, and what you do for SouthPac International?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks, David. So just a bit about me. I'm up here in sunny North Queensland in Cairns.
Sunny and humid.
Sunny and humid, yes, very. Yeah, but it's a great place to come back to. I joined SouthPac towards the end of January, and since then it's been pretty much a whirlwind ride with delivering HOP and learning team as a facilitator to various companies within Australia and also overseas. So it's, I've loved the experience so far, and we're doing some really great work in developing the HOP and learning team space a little bit further and having a look at some of our other areas that we could put out there for people so they could enrich their learning environment. Prior to SouthPac, I was with Mitchell Services. So I was with them for 8.5 years, nearly 9 years. So they're a drilling service provider. I know you've had the likes of Josh Bryant, General Manager of Safety, previously. So I worked with Josh. Him and I sort of joined Mitchell's around the same time back in 2016.
Yep.
And the journey of HOP and the new view of safety was sort of introduced to us when we just went along to a workshop back in 2017 with Daniel Hamadal, actually.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Learning that information. And we came out of that thinking, oh my gosh, we've found something different. This is not what we're coming in for. We were getting set up for the usual 12 days of Christmas campaign crap,
Yep. Don't hurt yourself, read the posters, and try to be a better person.
Yeah, and all that sort of, and care more type thing. And we came out and said, we've got this all wrong. And so that started us on our journey with the new view of safety, looking at our people, that they're not a problem to solve. They're the problem solvers, so they're doing the work day in, day out. So they've got all these good ideas, but no one was listening to them. So that's when we started to change our focus within the drilling scheme of Mitchell Services to actually look at our workers and look at the way we do our work and how we set these guys up for success or not. It's pretty much. So that's been a continuous journey since 2017, and it doesn't stop. It's a continuous journey even after. Like I've left, if Josh leaves, if the other HSE team members leave, we've got it in a space where it's become part of our fabric of the way we do our work.
Yeah, so, right, regardless of who's there.
Yeah, but just because there's a few people that kicked it off doesn't mean when you leave, it's going to stop. And the idea of being just a perpetual learner, it continues. The whole HOP journey continues. We've got different people, different clients. That was the challenges that we faced in Mitchell Services with a lot of the, we don't drill for ourselves. We have a number of, it could be 25 to 30 odd different clients, whether they're a tier one big mining magnate to mum and dad outfit in rural outback Queensland. So it really depends on their maturity and what they're looking for. And sometimes we could go in there and embed our system over theirs, or others we said, no, this is the way we do it. So we just needed to look at what we needed to change. And the big thing about that was looking back at those HOP principles and and we had to look at our own leaders first. So we worked within our own organisation because that was in our sphere of control.
Yeah, right. Okay, so you contextualized internally as well as because I think Josh brought this up as well. He was basically Mitchell Services was stuck in this space, which was in between the tier one people. Well, I mean, you're essentially a contractor, weren't you? And sometimes you're a subcontractor as well. So you had all these different levels of influence. And levels of control above and below you as well. So that was complicated. But you spent the better part of 7 to 8 years starting that hop journey with Mitchell Services and seeing that all the way through to when you left. So there's a lot of experience there. So there was the hop element, there was the learning teams that were introduced to Mitchell Services as well, weren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I was going to say that, like, you know, the role that I'm currently in, the SouthPac, I fully believe I would not be in the position to actually put myself forward for this role unless I've done all that work with Mitchell Services and the HSE team, working with Josh, working with the leadership team, and working with our people at the frontline work. Because what I bring now is that practical application to it all of actually doing it and embedding it and implementing it in the field with our workers. So, you know, it's not just the theory side about that you can learn, you can open up a textbook, read the books, listen to podcasts, but it's actually getting out there doing it. That could be a stumbling block for a lot of starters in wanting to start this journey. So I've seen that. I've effectively gone out and done that with our team within Mitchell Services, which is, you know, so I bring that added element to our courses in SouthPac, which usually gets a lot of interest.
I bet it does. Like you said, you know, it's very rare and not very rare, but it's good when you can learn from someone who's actually spent the time on the ground, walking the walk, as well as being able to talk the talk as well. From that perspective, why don't we have a look then at some of the services which SouthPac International have in the hop and learning team space, and we'll walk through a little bit about these and point people to where they should go and, you know, have a look for further information.
So this is a good starting page, the hop training page. The one before it just talks about hop, what is hop, but when you want to get in and actually do the courses and find out what's on offer there from SouthPac, come to this page, and it has a couple of different variants in there. So you've got, if you just scroll down a bit further, you've got the 1 day hop course, which is the hop day fundamentals of basically going through, you know, your 5 principles and what does that look like, and, you know, just changing the different perspective against safety, just redefining that. The 3 days hop and learning team, so that actually incorporates that 1 day hop fundamentals, and then the next 2 days is around integration and learning teams. And what does that actually look like? I
did that when I came to Perth with Andy and Sean, and I went on that. That's really good.
Yeah, so we've actually changed the format a little bit on day 3 because we found a recipe that really worked well with one of our overseas clients, in that the 3rd day we really bring in that practical application of running a learning team. So we touch on a little scenario on day 2, but on day 3 we actually get the participants, the attendees, to actually do the learning team based on a scenario, role play, characters, and I ran it just last week when I was in New Zealand, and it ran fantastically. I reckon the guys, they loved it. There was a few Oscars out there, you know, they really immersed themselves into it, but that's what it's about. You need to put yourself in there to actually have a go, have a crack, be sometimes outside your comfort zone, because a lot of this is going to be new for people. So it's giving them the confidence to then go out and talk the talk, and then display those or showcase those hot principles when they go out into their own working environment.
Yeah, right. Okay, and actually take the information they've learned in the class, and, you know, from talking to yourself and other people, and actually start using it, which is where the learning starts to get embedded, isn't it? When they actually start using the skills we've been talking about. Fabulous.
Yeah.
So what else have we got here in this on this page?
So we've got the event learning review. It's a 2-day course, which something that we've introduced recently. Andy Sean actually did a webinar on it, just introducing it, announcing that this review is now happening. And that's basically 2 days of going through event learnings. What does that look like? How should someone handle themselves during an event? What they need to look for, and actually producing different to an investigation, but it's more about the working insights and understanding the context of work when an event occurs.
Gotcha.
I'm excited what's coming up next, which is the Bob Edwards, the masterclass. So Bob is actually coming out in June, so next month. So he'll be out in Brisbane on the 10th and the 11th of June, and then again in Perth on the 17th and 18th of June.
Yep.
I'll be joining him over in the Perth segment. But
great! I'll get to meet you then.
Yeah, that's the plan. And then
awesome.
My co-facilitator with SouthPac is Becky Picton. So she'll handle the Brisbane leg with Bob Edwards as well. So yeah, so her and I split the time up between our public courses and in-house courses as well. So
gotcha.
So we've got a fair bit on our plate.
Yep.
So yeah, and then we just got the learning teams course, which is more in-house only. So if companies want to come out and know more about learning teams and how to do them, it's a bit like the 3-day HOP and learning team course, but more bespoke around what they actually need and what they want. So it's a lot of talk around what they need as a client. For SouthPac. So yeah.
Awesome. And this HOP integration course I see there as well. I haven't heard that one before. Is that that's in-house only as well? So that's basically, I would imagine, going over the practicalities of what HOP would look like when it's been integrated within the company. Is that correct?
Yeah, sorry, yeah. So that last one is about understanding what systems they already have in play. So it's an in-house, not for public domain, because every organisation is going to look differently. So we'll grab their safety management system. What does it look like with their investigations? What's it look like? What are their touch points with their workforce, leadership team, and operating with the board, and what does all that look like? We will grab that and arrange an integration strategy and how that would look like in regards to their organisation.
Yeah, right. Gotcha. And this is. You touched on it previously as well, but you get to travel all around the world with these training classes and integration courses, don't you? That must be great for you. But where do you get to travel to with all these? Where have you got clients currently?
So at the moment, since joining SouthPac, I within 4 or 5 days I was in the Philippines, working with a renewable energy company. There's actually a case study that we've just published on our webpage with the Energy Development Corporation.
Is that on this page?
Yes, I'd say yes. Guides and resources, HOP articles. And you'll see case study, the middle one there.
Yep.
Supporting Energy Development Corporation with learning teams and coaching. So we've done a lot of work with them, with their various teams throughout the Philippines. And a lot of different sites, and that worked really well. So again, it's about the 3 days HOP integration, learning teams, what's it look like, and we've still got continuing support and coaching and mentoring with that company.
So that was the Philippines after the first week. Where have you been to after that?
Yeah, well, and then I backed it up straight away to Wollongong and going to that Global Safety Innovation Summit. Then it's been through to heading over to Canada soon, to Calgary. So we've got the public course happening there in when's that? Late July, mid-July, 16th to the 18th of July.
I think it says up here, doesn't it? There's a banner of HOPLAB coming to Canada.
Yes.
let's have a look at the courses there. Let's have a quick
Yeah.
look here. Details, face-to-face, 16th to 18th of July. There we go.
Yeah. So we've got another public course running in Perth in August, and then another one in Brisbane in September. We do have, in between all that, some in-house work with some clients that we're working with. So we're not just doing those dates. We're doing a lot of other work with some of the clients that we've already engaged us to provide us with this training and for their integration works for their organisations. So it's there's a lot going on, but we always welcome more work because it's keeps us off the streets, keeps us busy.
keeps you off that's what I always say to people when they say, "Oh, Dave, you're busy at the moment." So yeah, it keeps me off the streets because when I get bored, that's when things get silly. So it's always good to keep busy, isn't it, mate? So people have been looking at this going, I'd love to go to one of them public courses or talk about one of the in-house HOP integration or training courses. Where can they reach out and find, get in contact with someone? Obviously, we've got the enroll button here, and I'll make sure this separate URL is put in the description below so people can get straight to this page as well to come to the booking.
So if you can click on the enroll button if you want to go directly to those courses. There's at the bottom of the page, there's usually you can fill out a form and it actually keep going down further. You can do the inquiries that way. And that will go to our admin staff at head office down at Burleigh Waters there. So they're in a lovely part of the country down near the Gold Coast there. So
yeah, I know.
It's a great
lot less humid than where you are, mate. That's for sure.
But yeah, there's a team of people down there with Jody doing heading up the admin side of things with Animata, and then there's also Katie who deals with the marketing side of things as well. So
and he's a bit of a scroller of some of the organisation you worked with as well to give people a bit of a feel of that. Well, I think we've covered pretty much everything on this. I
will say that on our webpage, feel free to just troll through that because there's a lot of information on there. All the videos that we show in the courses are actually there. The HOPLAB videos, the articles, we're actually populating that a little bit more now, putting some new fresh ideas, some challenging questions out there for people that might stimulate the whole brain matter of what's going on, especially challenging the view of safety. What does that look like? What does HOP look like? And there's just things in there that people could definitely use already that we make available free. But if they want to have that extra hand and guidance, we're always there for them.
Yeah, right. And this as well doesn't get talked about enough, I think, as well. This HOPLAB hangout. So for every time there's public training courses in different cities around Australia or the world or whatever it is, there is an organised event afterwards where there's drinks and all that kind of stuff. And I've been to a few with Andy here in Perth, and it's always amazing how many people actually come up and say, "Look, I've seen it. I didn't want to pay at the moment. Can you tell me more about it?" So you get the opportunity to have that face-to-face discussion with someone from SouthPac International, learn a bit more, meet the person before you decide if that's what you need to do as well. So that's another good way if you're in one of the cities where the training takes place. And you're not sure yet, then go along to the HOPLAB hangout, have a chat with Tim, have a chat with Andy, have a chat with whoever's doing facilitation and learn more about it that way as well. Awesome sauce. Well, I'll make sure all those links are in there. I was going to call you Andy then. Too many times saying Andy. He's got more hair than us, hasn't he? That's what it is. And I look forward to seeing you for the first time when you come over to Perth next month, mate.
Absolutely. We'll definitely keep in contact. And there's you can either contact me on for people that want to reach out to me directly. There's probably the best place is LinkedIn. You'll find me on there. Just Tim Fitch. But HOPLAB also have a LinkedIn profile and also a SouthPac International group. So,
that's a good point. Actually, I might put those links in the description below as well, so people can get to them that way as well.
So, and I generally like to post a lot of information after their courses, what's working well, what hadn't gone well, a few happy snaps, and Yeah, so it's about the people. So
It is. It's about the community, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
No worries at all. Well, thank you so much for that, Tim. Very much appreciated. Like I said, we're probably going to get a few more people on from SouthPac International as well, but it's always good hearing from the people, from the facilitators, their story, what they've done, what they like about it, where they get to go, the travels, making it personable is always interesting for people. So thank you very much for coming on and talking about all that stuff.
Thanks, David. I welcome the opportunity. It's great. Thank you.
No worries, mate. You hang around. I'll just say goodbye to everyone, and then I'll come back to you, mate.
Thanks, mate.
So that was Tim Finch from SouthPac International, one of the highly experienced HOP facilitators, integrators, trainers, whatever you want to call them. So like we said during that video, there's going to be lots of details about how to get in contact with SouthPac, lots of details about how to get in contact with Tim directly as well. Feel free, reach out, ask questions, have a look at the resources and the guides and the information I've got on the website. It's all there free for you to have a look at and see whether this is something that you want to get involved in, see whether this would fit for your organization. Or if you have any questions about whether it is a good fit, reach out to SouthPac, have a chat with them and see where that goes, and see what advice and help they can give you. So thank you for watching, and look forward to seeing you on the next video.